What is Fantasy Express? Fantasy Express is a role-playing game based on old-school role-playing games, except with lots of delivery missions, so that we can get rid of delivery missions for good. Check out last week's devlog if you want to hear about delivery missions and what FEX is. Occasionally I live code FEX on Twitch, but since the goal is to get this game out in a few weeks, join me in this weekly devlog to find out how it all happened. Ria spent a lot of time last week running around Curia, trying to find out where to deliver things, and she mentioned it would be useful to have a GPS that knew where to go. Games often include an in-game radar that tells players where they should go, where the other players are, or in extreme cases, how lost you've gotten. Not quite a GPS, but close enough. On Saturday's live coding show, we took the old gem finder radar and put it to better use, showing where the next place Ria needed to go. It only supports non-playing characters, NPCs, for now, but that's a good start. I added a way to know if the player was between quests, which is RPG slang for fun employed, to get rid of the radar target at the right times. After that, I tossed out the old pickup counter and moved all of the heads-up display, or HUD, elements out of the place where they were first live coded, and started building an actual HUD controller that could be used between scenes. The current text is being put together by some code I wrote, so I took a quick swing at using Godot's bitmap font support, but it turned out to be a hassle and mostly targeted at more modern TrueType fonts, so I put that aside for now and moved the old text handler to the new HUD. Since the old gem pickup system was now gone, I scrapped the old radar targeting code and used Godot's angle 2 calculation. That's a lot better than doing all the trig yourself like I was doing before. I also began adding support for more than one target, but unfortunately sometimes they covered up nearby targets with far away ones. That's not great. So I started off the last session by fixing that. Rather than just drawing all of the targets in whatever order they were added, instead I figured out how far away they all were. After getting them in order by distance, I could now use the painter's algorithm, which is just a fancy way of saying to draw stuff that'll be covered up first. Or in this case, the targets that are farthest away. Not super optimal, but really, come on. How many targets are you really going to be trying to find at once? I spent the rest of the time starting to get the HUD to work in different scenes, in this case inside the quest house, but that led to a double free bug on the scene. That's something that I'm going to need to fix up next week. That's your Fantasy Express devlog for the week. Like, subscribe, and all that. And I left a link to the show on Twitch down in the description if you want to catch it live. Otherwise, I'll catch you next week. In the meantime, keep on delivering stuff.